Let's make red velvet macarons that are perfect to impress that special someone. Because they're hearts. And I'll be enjoying these by myself because I am very much single. Sift together 2 cups of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, and a cup of almond flour. Give it a good whisk and then separate 3 eggs. Whip up the whites until they're nice and frothy, then gradually add in 1/3 of a cup of sugar and some red dye. Once the mixture reaches stiff peaks, do the little dance. Fold in the dry ingredients half by half. The consistency should be like molten lava. Wipe out your macarons. The technique is to do 2 little petal shapes to form a heart. Let them rest for 30 minutes, then bake at 300 for 20 minutes. Fill with some luscious cream cheese frosting, and then I did some little decorations on top because I'm extra. I'll be taking applications for Valentine's in the comments.
Hey, you guys want an easy recipe? Would be an all-time favorite for anybody. My kids' favorite, hands down. 3-ingredient recipe.
Yep. Here we go. Let's make it.
1/16-ounce sausage, and I love Jimmy Dean. On the sausage. Once it's done, you're gonna want to drain the sausage. You add 1 pound of cream cheese. Melt it. While you let the cream cheese melt, you're gonna drain your 2 cans of rotel tomatoes. The cream cheese is all melted. You're going to add the drained 2 cans of rotel tomatoes. Okay, once it's all mixed, you're going to add it to your cornware. I usually spray it. Put it in the oven, 350 for about 15-20 minutes. And here you have it. We serve it with Scoops Tostitos, and it's a favorite.
Have you tried the keto version of the baked feta pasta? Let me show you how I made this. Start by using cherry tomatoes. I added 5 ounces of feta for half the recipe. Add 3 garlic cloves and 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of fresh cracked pepper and salt, pepper flakes and oregano, and we bake for 30 minutes at 400 degrees. Now mix everything together to form your sauce. Add fresh basil. Spiralize your zucchini. Now add your zoodles to your sauce and mix. This dish is perfection. It's light, creamy, and doesn't give you a crazy food coma.
So right there in the center, we're gonna do 1 more. Hi-ya! All right, here's my next set. But you gotta flip it very gently. And notice that the spaghetti is still uncooked. Special recipe that I like to call Getty Spaghetti. Here comes the fun part. Some bell peppers, onion, yellow bell peppers. My special Bulgarian spice called chubrica. I like to go like this. Wait, we got 1 more special ingredient.
You're putting nerds in
Yes.
there.
They're gonna release the sugars, and it's gonna be just enough sweet.
So that's what's going to soften it up.
Exactly.
I'm still a bit confused by these nerds being in the Getty spaghetti.
You don't have to cover it. All right, it's been 20 minutes.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That looks amazing.
Getty spaghetti.
Yummy.
Chef Zay here, and we are digging deep into our bags tonight, you guys. Your boy used to work at P.F. Chang's favorite dish, Singapore black pepper chicken. Let's get it started. A little bit of soy sauce, some oyster sauce. Do not go too crazy. The salt can get out of hand. Some rice vinegar, some chicken stock, chili paste. Add as much as you want. Sugar. We need that balance, that umami. How are we going to thicken this, you guys? You guessed it. Cornstarch and water. Leave it off to the side. Now onto the chicken. A little bit of egg, some oil, S&P, some cornstarch. We're gonna leave that in the fridge to marinate. Veggies, I mean, come on, red and green bells, a little bit of white onion, some garlic. Fresnos are the best part of this. Let's get some nice color on that chicken. We're gonna sweat our veggies, add our sauce. You guys, this one is banging. My name is Chef Zay. The real question is, who needs a Valentine? All right, I'll see you guys next time.
Y'all, this recipe is so good, it is ridiculous. You take a butternut squash and you peel the skin, halve it, core it, cube it, drizzle it all in olive oil, and then generously sprinkle it with thyme, sage, black pepper, add on a 1/4 of a sweet onion, roast that for 30 minutes on 425. Then you start boiling your lasagna. While that's boiling, start your filler. It's 2 packs of frozen spinach with all of the excess water squished out, 12 ounces of ricotta, 16 ounces of cream cheese, a cup of Parmesan, 2 teaspoons red pepper flakes, and a teaspoon of salt. Mix it up, that's your filling. Then you're gonna take your lasagna noodles, cool to touch, cut them in half, put about 2.5 tablespoons of the filling in them, and roll them seam side down. You can see here I had enough for the second pan for meal prep. Take your veggies out of the oven, put them in a blender with a 1/2 cup of vegetable broth, and pure them till you get a puree. Puree into the pot with 2 cups of cream, 2 tablespoons of butter, a cup of Parmesan, a pinch of nutmeg. Cook it for 5 minutes, then pour it over your rolls, add mozzarella, bake those for 20 minutes. When you pull it out, it is subtly sweet and so rich.
Voodoo rolls. Now this is just taking some Cajun flavor and putting it in an egg roll. I mean, I feel like if you roll and fry anything, it's gonna be better. To start, you're going to saute your andouille, onions, and garlic with Worcestershire. Then you're going to throw in crawfish tails and a heavy amount of Tonys. Let that all cook for a few minutes to allow those flavors to all come together. And then remove from the heat to let it cool down. Once cool, add your shredded mozzarella and stir to combine. To build the egg rolls, just add a couple of tablespoons of that stuffing, and then you're going to take your finger and use water around the edges as you go, and that's going to act as the glue to keep it all together. These go in the fryer for a couple of minutes or until golden brown. Serve with a honey mustard and watch them disappear. These are called...
Alright, so you know I had to hop on that TikTok pasta trend, but I had to make things bougier. So I'm using boursin, garlic, and herb cheese. Comes out a lot creamier than using feta. I used a nice tomato medley so you get some more color. Chop up a shallot, some cloves of garlic, and some fresh basil. You're gonna top that with 10 out of 10.
Have you ever tried chori nachos? You're gonna start by cutting your low-carb tortilla into triangles. I like using avocado oil for frying. I swear these taste like real chips. Now cook your chorizo. You can use chorizo or longaniza. Make a few fried eggs to your liking. I kind of like mine over medium. And now we layer chips, cheese, throw them in the microwave to melt the cheese. Now spread your chorizo over your cheesy chips, top it with your fried eggs, and add your toppings of liking. I'm using sour cream, salsa, cilantro. Ah, the yolk is the best part.
Pasta fagioli.
Pasta fazool.
Start by chopping up your celery, carrots, and onions to make a sofrito. You can also use a food processor. Then mince some rosemary and thyme. Saute your veggies first, and then add the fresh herbs.
I'm making a vegetarian pasta fagioli because we've had way too much meat in the last few weeks.
Next, add crushed tomatoes and let that simmer for 15. Then goes the chicken broth, the Parmesan rinds. Bring to a boil, then add your pasta. When pasta's al dente, add canned beans and pureed cannellini and let simmer. I top with basil oil and grated cheese.
Buon appetito.
My sister said she would fly from Florida to Indiana just to eat this lasagna. It starts with 1 pound of ground chuck and a pound of sweet Italian sausage. Add a diced onion and cook the pink out of the meat. Strain the fat, add 6 cloves of minced garlic back to the pan and then your meat and onions. Cook on low until caramelized, just like that. Add in crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato sauce, water, stir, then add in seasoning, sugar, and fresh chopped parsley. Stir, cover, and simmer for at least 60 minutes. While the sauce cooks, make the ricotta mixture and set aside. To assemble, add sauce to a 9x13 dish, cooked lasagna noodles, more sauce, all the ricotta mixture, sliced mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese. The next 2 layers are the same. It's just noodles, sauce, sliced mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and Parmesan cheese. Bake at 375 for 30 minutes covered and then 30 minutes uncovered. It's perfection.
Look at these champagne scallops that we made on Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh. Salt, pepper, olive oil all over your scallops. Then you're gonna chop up about 6 to 7 cloves of garlic, lemon, parsley, and a big hunk of butter. This is a frill. We learned about these tonight. Apparently you're supposed to remove them. We've eaten a lot of frill, but we removed them for this video. I'm outdoors now. Avocado oil in the pan. Then add the scallops. Now don't mess with them. Leave them there for about 7 minutes per side. I don't know, a little more, a little less. And brown each side. Then you're gonna add the garlic and a big hunk of butter, all that lemon, and then deglaze with the bubbly, and it bubbles and it's so cute and tasty. Parsley, and boom.
No flour was harmed in the making of this cake.
Because there's no flour in it. Now let's go!
Starting with some mixed berries, take about 20% of your berries, sugar, some Meyer lemon, juice that in, and just begin to smash. Once that's nice and liquid, add back into the rest of the berries and mix. We're making macerated berries. Now let these sit room temp for at least an hour. Rough chop your bittersweet chocolate. We'll melt this chocolate over a double boil. Chocolate in, along with your butter. When that's all melted, remove from the heat, add your sugar, whisk to combine. Now slowly whisk in your beaten egg, little by little, and finally sift in your cocoa powder and just gently fold this together. And when that cocoa powder is just worked in, get that into a spring-form pan lined with parchment paper. And now we'll just bake at 375 for about 25 minutes. Now just hit it with a little more cocoa powder, some of those macerated berries, spoon a little liquid over like that. Vanilla bean gelato. Okay, let's see how we did. Oh my. That is insane. Happy Valentine's Day. Yo, no, I love you and I'm out.
Fried cabbage and burgers topped with feta. Chop up 1/2 cabbage. For the sauce, you need a 1/2 cup of cream, 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato sauce, and some dried parsley. Cook your burgers to your liking. Take them out and wipe out your pan. Then add about 6 tablespoons of butter and get that melted. Add your cabbage and cook your cabbage down. It's going to be nice and caramelized. In another pan, take your sauce and your burgers and cook on medium-low for a few minutes until the sauce warms up. Plate your cabbage, top it with your burger, some sauce, and some feta cheese. When I first made this, I said, how could this be good? It is our favorite dish.
Texas crawfish rangoons. 8 ounces of cream cheese, softened. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. 1 tablespoon of garlic jalapeno seasoning from Weber. Half a bunch of chopped cilantro. Chop up about 6 ounces of crawfish tails. Add crawfish to cream cheese. Dampen edges of wonton skins with water. Try to seal all edges so that none of the mixture comes out when you're frying. Fry in veggie oil at 330 to 350 until brown. 1/3 of a cup of sriracha, 1/4 a cup of melted butter, juice from 1 lime, 1 cup of honey. And voila!
This is how I make my comeback crackers because they make you want to come back for more. So you have a lot of saltines that you put in an airtight container. You're going to have some olive oil, and then I have ranch seasoning, ranch packet seasoning, red pepper flakes, and pat into pot. So pat into pot is a low sodium Creole seasoning. It's amazing, and I put this stuff on everything. Okay, so now you take your container lid, and then you're gonna wanna flip this every 5 minutes for the next 20 minutes, just so you could disperse all of the oil. So these are the result of the comeback crackers after you rotate them for about 20 minutes and make sure the oil is completely covered. And they are so good. They're really spicy, but they just really want you to keep coming back for more. So I do include these in my grazing boxes and my grazing tables. Enjoy.
Couldn't sleep this morning, so I took a big hit to see if that would help, and it didn't, but instead I thought bacon toast. I took about 4 or 5 pieces of bacon and I cut them in half, and I'm just weaving them together. I'm making 2 because my toddler also loves bacon. I got this one time in college, my friends made this bacon pie. It was so good. If you guys are watching this, I miss you. By the way, that's going in a cold oven, and then I preheated it to 400 degrees. So as far as what I want to put on top, obviously a little bit of green onion, and I'm moving that off to the side. I'm gonna also add some thick slices of fresh tomato. Fun fact, my first job out of college was doing product demonstrations. Don't miss that job whatsoever. We're cutting up an avocado. If you don't love avocado, I don't need you in my life. Topping her off with an egg. No joke, it took me 3 eggs to do this right. I'm an idiot. Bacon's out of the oven. It was in there for about maybe 25 minutes. I like it really crispy. The spatula, get that shit off. And look how cute it came out. I was so impressed. I said the bacon, I put avocado, green onion, the tomato, and the egg on top. It was sturdy and it was delicious. Out of 10, recommend.